Hello, I'm Tim Wambach with Handicap This, and today I'm in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, talking with Dr. Mike Saatkamp about his product, Parenting, Movement, and Nutrition. Now, we've covered a lot about parenting and movement, and there's a third component, nutrition. How does your program address nutrition?
Okay, well, let me say just a few basic things first about what nutrition means in this project and why I think it's important for families with special needs kids. Of course, the first reason it's important is that we're all under a lot of stress.
Right.
Okay, and one of the ways that we can make our life more stressful is to eat foods that are very high in sugar. And so there's a tool that we're going to be using called the glycemic index.
Okay.
And we're going to cover it in great detail in the Parenting, Movement, and Nutrition Training Program. It's, I think, one of the most important tools that we have because it shows us what the speed of delivery of sugar into our bloodstream is. And that can be a little bit difficult to understand. We know now that for all of us, high levels of blood sugar are a problem. And we've never had so much obesity, we've never had so much metabolic syndrome and type 2 diabetes, and now many scientists are calling Alzheimer's disease type 3 diabetes. So the long-term degenerative effects of high blood sugar levels are really important to address. So one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to master the glycemic index as a tool so that we start to understand what sugar is and where is it dangerous, how much of it do we need, because we have to have sugar to create energy. Okay? And so sugar is an important fuel for us along with oxygen because when we combine sugar and oxygen and a couple other chemicals in our cells, we get ATP. And as you may remember from your high school biology, that's the source of energy for all the pumping mechanisms in our cells. So it's important to understand this. When we get too much sugar, or we eat foods that contain substances that provoke immune responses, we end up with a lot of stress. And our kids are going to, if we allow our kids to develop poor eating habits, then on top of whatever special needs they're dealing with, whether they're autistic, they have ADD and ADHD, they have Tourette's syndrome, epilepsy, cerebral palsy, spina bifida, etc. If we add to them a metabolic challenge, their life is now even tougher. Because when the brain is experiencing hyperglycemia for a long time, the brain slows down. Some great resources for this have popped up recently. Dr. David Perlmutter's book, Grain Brain, and Dr. William Davis's book, Wheat Belly.
Sure.
Both are really important in explaining the challenges that we have with exposure to so much sugar.
Right.
So one of the first ways we deal with nutrition is we're going to talk a lot about sugar. I'm not going to pummel anything towards people because I enjoy sugar, and all of us are going to, there are very few people who will just cut sugar out of their life.
Right.
But we need to understand it and be reasonable about our nutritional needs so that we don't provoke more stress than we've already got or cause our kids more challenge than they're already dealing with.
Makes sense. Thank you, Dr. Mike. I am Tim Wambach with Handicap This, and we've been talking about parenting, movement, and nutrition.